Sleep Train Arena as the St. Augustine Saints, the number 1 seed from the Southern region, get set to play the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish, the number 1 seed from the Northern region. I'm Jeff Kurtz alongside Greg Cotta here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports, and this is certainly your destination Sleep Train Arena for this weekend, Greg, if you want to catch some great high school basketball in the state of California. We've already had 3 very good games today, including 1 buzzer beater. We expect another good one here in this one.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, I'm really excited to be here. I can only expect good basketball coming from this place. You know, I grew up in the Sacramento area, and I got to watch a lot of CIF championship basketball growing up, both men's and women's side of the ball. Honestly, it's always exciting because it's so important to these teams. This is what they've been trying to do within their entire career, their high school career. This is what they're looking for. This is what they want. And for 2 teams to go and put everything on the court, as you mentioned, it's going to be nothing but exciting basketball.
Let's give you a little background on these 2 squads. First, for Sacred Heart Cathedral, the Fighting Irish have been a recent frequent attendee to the state championship in men's basketball on the boys' side. They were here last year and lost to Alamany 71-67, but they last won in 2009 against Ocean View out of Huntington Beach, California, 62-55. So they're certainly no stranger to championship games, Sacred Heart, and looking to actually get a win. The girls losing to Alamany a few moments ago. It's one of those rare double-doubles where both the boys program and the girls program are in attendance. Sacred Heart Cathedral led by head coach Daryl Barber.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, I think that's something that's really exciting. I mean, to be a student in the cheering section and then get to hold on to your seat and just watch your next team come on in. I mean, we know their fans are going to be ready. I mean, they just experienced a loss, but they're going to want to come away with something. And a dominant program like that is something that's always, you always have to watch out for it, because even if it's new players, a program can be consistent in and out. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Sacred Heart Cathedral, not many people expected them to get this far this season, Greg. They came into the state tournament with a record of 18-11. They're now 21-11. Again, this is their 4th appearance. They're 1-2 in these championship games, including that loss last year, the win in 2009. But they lost a lot of height last year. Taylor Johns and Josh Fox went on to Division I programs, so they don't have too many tall kids. They run about 6'2", 6'3" at their apex, and that's not very tall for basketball, but they're getting by with great defense. They shut teams down.
Yeah, you know, when looking at their recent play, you know, the overall record is always a good indicator, but I like to look at the runs. You know, the guide shows that they've won their last 4, but really I look at it as they've won their last 5 of their last 7. And those 2 losses came to Sarah High School. So really, they've really only lost to 1 team in the final stretch. And that means that they're peaking at the right time. And yeah, they're small, but they're tough. And they're holding a lot of their opponents to around 45 to 50 points a game. So they're stingy on defense.
And they come out of the very tough West Catholic Athletic League in the Bay Area. Meanwhile, the St. Augustine Saints making their 2nd appearance in the championship game under head coach Mike Hopp, though it's been 8 years, going back to 2005 when Coach Hopp led a 31-0 team to this championship game and then lost to Santa Cruz 67-56 in head coach Pete Newell Jr.'s final game. And if that name sounds familiar to those of you in the Northern California area, Pete Newell, the father was of Pete Newell Jr., was the head coach at Cal when they won their national championship for college basketball way back when. And then Pete Newell ran a lot of big man camps over a number of years with a lot of NBA players attended, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Moses Malone. But now St. Augustine back here in 2013 with a record of 28-4. There are 4 losses this year, 3 coming to Cathedral Catholic out of San Diego, who they ended up beating in the section championship game and in the regional semifinal. And then they lost to Sheldon of Sacramento, who's an outstanding group that ended up a team that ended up in the Open Championship. So St. Augustine, a very good rebounding team, out-rebounding Chaminade 44-26 in the regional final to get here. And that was when they were giving up height to a front line that went 6'10", 6'9", and 6'7" for Chaminade, and they still rebounded it by 18.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, it's hard to imagine. You know, there are so many Division I college programs that would be happy to have 6'9", 6 through 11 down in their front court, and you know, for them to come, they do have some pretty good height. You know, you see 6'6" to Drew Madsen down in the post, something to look forward to. But honestly, they are going to have the height advantage on top of their rebounding. That's going to give them a lot of edge because every team wants to control that semicircle underneath the hoop. They want to make sure that they can control that zone. You can control the tempo that way. I think there's going to be 2 different contrasting styles here, and it's going to be interesting to see who can control the momentum.
Starters for St. Augustine, Nate Samaniego, Drew Madsen, Trey Kell, Brent Jones, and Brenton Lamar. 4 seniors and a junior. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart Cathedral, DeAndre Otis, Khalil James, David Parsons, Herman Pratt, and Liam O'Reilly. St. Augustine in the purple jerseys going right to left. With the purple shorts, white lettering, they win the opening tip. Sacred Heart Cathedral going left to right in the white jerseys, white shorts. The green and blue lettering, the Fighting Irish going left to right. Samaniego with the ball out high, swings to Kell. Kell goes near side to Lamar. Lamar, who's going to UC Davis after this year, misses his first shot. Madsen got the loose ball, had it blocked, and then Trey Kell follows with the bucket, and it's 2-0 St. Augustine.
And that goes back to that rebounding, Jeff. If you can get putbacks on the offensive end, it doesn't matter your shooting percentage if you can get it in the bucket on the second try.
Pratt with the ball on the left wing, straight away to Otis, right side James. James driving on Samaniego, loses the ball, gets it back, swings it out high, now on the penetration drive. O'Reilly the putback, no, off the offensive rebound. Ball loose on the floor, and Madsen comes away with it as David Parsons got the first shot for the Fightin' Irish, and O'Reilly couldn't get the putback. Samaniego trapped in the corner, and there's that tough D that you're talking about by the Fightin' Irish. They are trapping and getting everywhere, and a jump ball tie-up is the call, and Sacred Heart will have it.
And that's one of my favorite things to see on defense, Jeff. The way they were able to set up that trap right in the corner. They knew where he was going, and he didn't know where they were coming from, so they had this great edge, able to force possession the other way.
James into the front court going left to right, gives to Parsons, who swings left side to Otis. Otis straight away Pratt. Pratt fakes a 3, then kick back out. Otis, who's going to take an NBA range 3 and hit it. And they're going to need that today. It's going to be tough D and great outside shooting on the part of the Fightin' Irish in this ball game. They're up 3-2. Kell with the ball on the left wing in the front court for St. Augustine. Around to pick by Madsen, takes it into the key. Kick right side. Lamar is going to be open for 3. His shot well short. Loose ball is going to be grabbed by Parsons. Parsons into the front court, pass stolen by Samaniego with 6:20 left in the first quarter. Samaniego, kick corner, Lamar fakes a drive baseline, goes down low, Madsen up, Madsen blocked, follow in. And Trey Kell has his second offensive rebound of the game, and he's going to the line trying to complete a 3-point play.
Yeah, O'Reilly was down in the post there, and he's listed at 6'3" here, so he was at a bit of a disadvantage. Trey Kell coming up at 6'4", and honestly, the whole Irish defense, Fightin' Irish defense, looked a little bit small there. They had the good first effort, but St. Augustine was able to stick with it, get this and one opportunity.
Kell hits it. That foul was on Herman Pratt, his first personal, team's first. Into the front court with the basketball, James. James picked up by Samaniego, goes to O'Reilly beyond the circle. Left side, Pratt. Pratt looking at the post, nothing there. Pratt's going to drive, kick corner to Parsons. Parsons looking for help. And here's a 3-point shot and a good look, but off the front iron. The rebound to Brent Jones for St. Augustine. That last shot by Khalil James. Samaniego with the ball in the front court, 5:45 remaining opening quarter. Down low, Madsen on the right block. Madsen gives to Lamar. Lamar forgot the basketball. Here comes James the other way. He's got a 2-on-1. He's going to take it all the way up over Samaniego. We got a whistle and a charge. Samaniego steps in front. James picks up his first.
Yeah, James thought that he had position there. Samaniego knew exactly what side he was going to be coming from. I think that James thought he was going to be able to draw a foul a bit earlier. Tried to extend his shot a little bit too long to draw the contact. Ended up getting the call against himself, and now possession's heading the other way.
5-3, St. Augustine leading here early. Lamar around to pick out high. Goes right side, Kell into the corner. Jones, he's going to take a 3-pointer. Good! Brent Jones can get sneaky with those threes. And he can get them in a bunch, too, if you aren't careful. And St. Augustine enjoying their biggest lead here early in the game, 8-3. James with the ball in the front court, goes left side. Pratt's going to drive along the baseline, gets a step, gets in traffic, and travels. He was quadruple teamed down on the block.
And there are a lot of better situations than that when you're on offense. But, the Irish are really going to have to slow down here because they're really playing at the Saints' pace, and that is not going to work out in their favor with the way this game's going to go. With the way this game has been going, excuse me.
St. Augustine likes to put a lot of points up on the board, and they can do it quickly. Kell swings left side to Lamar, who's going to drive on Pratt, crossover, kick back out Kell from NBA range off the side of the rim. Jones, the offensive rebound, gives to Lamar. We got a foul on Pratt. If that's on Pratt, that's his second.
Yeah, and I did see a push there with the forearm, and I do think you got the call correctly, Jeff.
Meanwhile, Jones gets his first offensive rebound and second board of the game. 4:45 left. first quarter. Samaniego to inbound. Throws it over Lamar's head, and a 5-second call. Turnover.
And
Pratt's going to come out of the game, excuse me, really quick, Greg, and
no
we'll let you know Evan Davison is in. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that was just some good, stingy defense there coming from the Fightin Irish. I mean, they were able to force a 5-second violation, but even if that pass had gotten off sooner, would have sailed out of bounds. It was really tough on the inbound.
James across midcourt. Samaniego's giving him some room. James going to go left side to Otis. Otis onto the wing to Parsons. Parsons jab step right, now dribbles right. Skip pass near side. James thinks three, takes the three, shot short, rebounded underneath by Lamar. Lamar pushing into the front court, now picked up by Otis. Jones thought about a three from beyond NBA range. And sometimes the kids get a little confused with two lines here. Kell isn't confused. He takes it in. Follow no good by Madsen. James has a 2-on-2, now a 4-on-2. Gives to Otis. Otis gives off. Nice feed to Parsons for the layup.
That was some great transition ball movement. I mean, I was really impressed there by seeing little James make sure that he had the passing lane before giving it up. Great patience on the ball movement.
Lamar's pass is going to be stolen by Parsons, who's going to go up for a layup. No, Otis, the follow, gets it to fall. Otis has 5, 8-7. Sacred Heart on a 4-0 run. Lamar front court with the basketball. He's going to pull up for three. Shot back iron. Rebounded James. Here comes Sacred Heart. 3-on-3. James stops. Free throw line jumper short. Follow. O'Reilly is in.
What a tip there coming from O'Reilly. I mean, his hand was a good 3 feet behind his head when he tipped that in. He was underneath the backboard.
3:17 to go first quarter. Sacred Heart Cathedral has their second lead of the game. They were up 3-2. They're now up 9-8. Kell out high. Kell gives to Samaniego on the right wing. Samaniego looking for a pick. Instead takes it all the way himself. Floats one up short. James gets the board. James coming the other way into the front court. Parsons. Sacred Heart looking to run again. Nice transition. O'Reilly swatted by Kell. Jones back the other way. It's up and down we go. Jones crosses over, goes front court, kicks Kell. Three-pointer, left wing. Good.
And that was one of those shots, Jeff, that you know are going in right when you see it leave the fingertips. I mean, great form, great balance, and that's going to be really huge here for Augustine.
11-9 the score. St. Augustine by 2. Here's Otis around to pick on the right wing. He's going to step back for a three-point shot, leave it short. Long rebound goes to Kell. Kell having an active first quarter. Gives to Samaniego front court to Lamar along the wing. He's going to drive. He's going to go up. We got a charge. Brent Lamar looks like he's forcing the action just a little bit right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's almost seems a little bit rattled, actually. You know, I think that St. Augustine came here, and they thought that they were going to really push the ball, and it looked like the Irish enjoyed having that transition basketball. So it looks like there's kind of a miscommunication here on what both coaches are looking for. It's going to be an interesting stoppage.
Time out on the floor, 2:21 left, first quarter of play in this boys Division III championship game. St. Augustine leading at 11-9 over Sacred Heart Cathedral.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Greg Cotta. Greg, as we look at some of the numbers here through the first 5 minutes and 39 seconds of play, both teams shooting 4 of 12 from the field. Though St. Augustine's hit 2 3-pointers to just 1 for Sacred Heart Cathedral. But one other thing to point out as well, we were talking about Lamar a moment ago, 0 for 3 from the field. He does have a rebound and an assist in the game, but he also has 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and that's I mean, you know that his name is going to get called out in the huddle. I mean, he's a good player. They're expecting good results for him. I mean, that's why he's out on the court in the first place. And the coach, coaching staff has actually decided to keep him on the court despite his failures. They have faith in him, but they know they're going to be looking for better results. Those 4 turnovers, that is a very rough way to start a game.
Jake Ryan in the ball game for St. Augustine, replacing Brent Jones. Sacred Heart with the basketball. This is Davison. Davison goes to James. Now straight away Otis, 16 on the shot clock. Right side. This is Davison driving with the left hand on Martin Tombe, who just checked into the game for St. Augustine as well. And Saints is going to deflect the pass out of bounds far sideline. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 1:56 on the game clock here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that pass was deflected by Lamar, so some good defense coming from him.
On the crossover, James gets stuck with Samaniego on the block. Here's a long beyond NBA range three that just grazes the front of the rim, and Trey Kell's got a rebound for Saints. Outlet pass stolen by Khalil James. James has a 2-on-2, takes it down low, gives to Davison. We got a whistle and a foul. So Saints being a little loose with the basketball right now, and Sacred Heart Cathedral taking advantage. Yeah, that foul on Trey Kell is first, team second.
I was really impressed by Khalil James there. He looks like he likes to drive the lane on those fast breaks and stop and pivot, go in the opposite direction of where he was initially looking, and it seems to throw off the defense who's trying to cover that first pass before the layup.
Davison misses the first free throw. Second free throw coming up, trying to make it a 1-point game. And the second one, no good. Tombe the board.
Good foul.
Samaniego brings it into the front court and goes right side to Lamar, about 45 feet away from the basket. Straight away now Ryan. Ryan left side, Samaniego beyond the three-point line. 20 on the shot clock. Straight away now Kell for three. Kell's been hot. Kell misses side of the rim. Ball is going to be tapped out by Saints, but it's going to go to James. James tracks it down. He's got a 3-on-3, kicks far corner Otis. Otis drives baseline, floats one up from 5 short. Rebounded underneath by nobody, as it's going to be knocked out of bounds by St. Augustine.
You know, that was a perfect reaction, Jeff. I'd say a good 6-7 people got their fingertips on that ball before it sailed out of bounds. Just no one could really get their mitts on it. I don't really know how the referee makes a call at that point.
Elliot Santiago is going to check in for Khalil James for the Fighting Irish. Otis to inbound. So it's Kell, Tombe, Ryan, Samaniego, and Lamar in for St. Augustine right now. Meanwhile, Davison, Otis, David Parsons, the newly checked in Nagasi Hart, and then also Elliot Santiago on the floor for Sacred Heart. And there's going to be a traveling violation against Hart. Turnover the other way. 55 seconds to go, first quarter.
Yeah, that's just a jittery feet moment. Sometimes you let your brain get ahead of your feet and you take 2 steps before you know it. And that's just going to move it the other way. Just a minute left here in the first, as that could be really interesting to see who has possession at the end of this quarter.
Parsons is going to come out, O'Reilly in for Sacred Heart. Ryan inbounds to Samaniego. Samaniego across midcourt goes left side to Ryan, who's looking to post to Lamar on the left block. Lamar guarded by Otis. Lamar backing him in. Now double teamed, looking, skipping, far side. Ryan takes a couple dribbles into the key, floats one up, misses everything. Followed by Lamar is good. Nice job, Brent Lamar flying in for the offensive rebound putback, and St. Augustine's up 4, 13-9. Otis now running the point with James out of the game. Goes right elbow to Davison. Davison goes corner. This is Hart. Hart looking baseline. Hart looking for somebody to pass to. Now he's going to take it into the key around Kell, and has his pocket picked by Lamar. Lamar gets his wallet into 20, crosses midcourt with a dribble and gives off to Kell with 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Kell doesn't realize it. Shot clock turned off. He's got 8. He's got 7. He's out beyond midcourt. He gives to Ryan high elbow with 4. Back to Kell with 3. NBA range three-pointer, back iron, no, and that will end the first quarter of play. 13-9 is our score. St. Augustine with a 4-point lead here in the first quarter of the boys Division 3 championship game. I'm Jeff Kurtz alongside Greg Cotta right here on your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Well, Trey Kell had a busy first quarter for St. Augustine. 8 points, 4 rebounds, and a blocked shot. That's not a bad 8 minutes of play there for Trey Kell, leading scorers on both teams. Brent Jones chipped in with a three-pointer, one of the 2 threes in the game for St. Augustine. Brent Lamar with 2. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart Cathedral, DeAndre Otis has the 1-3 in the game for the Fightin Irish. He has 5. David Parsons and Liam O'Reilly with 2 each. And we're keeping an eye on the rebounding battle. And right now, St. Augustine out rebounding Sacred Heart Cathedral 12-8 with 5 offensive rebounds.
And offensive rebounds have really been the tale. I mean, there was that great putback coming from Lamar. He came flying through the lane, split everybody who was just standing there looking up, waiting for the ball. And that's how you're going to get those extra points. And considering it's only a 4-point game, at this point, those are the plays that make the difference between a win and a loss. Luckily, the Irish have plenty of basketball ahead of them.
St. Augustine will start out with the basketball to begin the second quarter, going right to left. Brent Jones, Eric Monroe running the point for St. Augustine in the game for the first time. Trey Kell, Brenton Lamar, and Drew Madsen back in for St. Augustine. We'll get you the Fightin Irish's starting five in just a moment as Lamar on the penetration, takes it all the way in, fights through traffic, and hits the layup. And now he looks like he's starting to get untracked a little bit, Greg.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he stayed in the game. I mean, it looked like a rough patch. You know, everybody trusted him to bring it in, and they're even giving him the ball. They know that it's going to drop eventually if he gets enough looks.
Liam O'Reilly, Nagasi Hart, DeAndre Otis, Elliot Santiago in the game, as is David Parsons for Sacred Heart. O'Reilly with the ball on the block, has it poked away by St. Augustine. Tracking it down is Monroe. Madsen forces the turnover. Monroe in the front court to Jones. Jones picks up the dribble, goes to Monroe left side. Monroe dribbles right. Fakes a handoff to Kell, goes corner Jones. He's going to take a long three. Back iron, no. Long rebound goes to Santiago. Pushing Otis the other way. Otis driving. Otis cut off by Lamar. Will back it out. 6:50 to go in the first half. Otis, drop left side. Hart fakes a shot, then loses the ball. Jones the steal, then loses it back with Otis. Players on the floor, and it's going to be off Jones out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a good call. I got to see it just touch Jones' fingertips. The referees saw the same thing. It's a good call. It's kind of a tough break. I was expecting a loose ball foul to be called on somebody, but it's looking like the referees are letting them play.
30-second timeout by St. Augustine. We'll keep it right here on PlayOnSports.com. Greg, your impressions so far through the first 6:41. It seems like the fans on both sides, I don't know if Sacred Heart's crew a little bit cheered out after that tight girls game, but it's pretty quiet here in Sleep Train Arena. It's like people are waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, no, you mentioned the words tired and sleep in the same sentence there. But normally this can be a pretty loud place. It's got that acoustics, but yeah, maybe the Irish are a little bit rattled after that loss, and looking at St. Augustine, there was a long trip here. They got to come way up north to get here. They still have a pretty faithful section. They haven't sat down this entire game so far, but yeah, still pretty quiet. Well, I think that once this game gets a little bit tighter, we'll start to hear some of those tough crowd noises coming through.
The rooting section for St. Augustine, known as the Pit, and they will not sit down the entire game. You can count on that. St. Augustine's made the trip from San Diego. Sacred Heart in the Central Coast section coming from San Francisco. Nice floater along the baseline by Elliot Santiago, his first bucket of the game. Nice job out of the timeout by Sacred Heart. They've cut the lead to 4. 6:20 left in the half. Kell around a pick out high by Madsen, dribbles left, gives to Lamar in an exchange. Lamar picked up by Herman Pratt, who's checked back into the game with those 2 personal fouls. Pratt's in there along with Parsons and James, who have both come back in as well. O'Reilly and Santiago still on the floor for Sacred Heart. Here's Lamar on the drive. He goes up, and we got a charge.
And it almost looks like the Fightin Irish knew exactly where Lamar was going to go. He likes to drive from the left side of the key there, and they had somebody standing there waiting for him to drive. That looked like some written-up defense to turn the ball the other way.
Brenton Lamar picks up his second personal foul, so now he and Pratt, who's been guarding him on the other end, both have 2 personal fouls. Samaniego going to check in for Lamar. Here's Otis giving off to Pratt, right elbow. Pratt takes it in on Madsen. Kick out O'Reilly, who can't find the handle, and the ball ends up in press row. Another turnover for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Both teams with 8 turnovers in the game.
Yeah,
that's not combined, that's each.
That means both teams are bailing each other out. Somebody's going to let up eventually.
Kell drives with the left hand into the key, gives to Madsen down low. His shot is going to be partially blocked by O'Reilly, who also gets part of the arm. Madsen to the free throw line for a pair.
Now, I see a lot of 6'4+ high school players who seem to not attack the hoop with enough strength, but I think that Drew Madsen, even with his size, made sure that he went up with authority to draw that foul underneath. I think that's really impressive, not relying on his height to get the look.
First free throw is short. That foul on O'Reilly was his first personal, team's 4th. St. Augustine with 3 team fouls. Second free throw by Madsen, 1 out of 2. Madsen's first point of the game, 5-point advantage for the Saints. 5:33 to go in the half. Into the front court with the basketball, James. James, right side. Pratt open for 3, wide open for 3. Back iron, long rebound goes to James. James dribbles into traffic, dribbles back out with a fresh shot clock, swings left side. Pratt's going to try another 3. Back iron, no. Madsen, nice box out. That was Parsons with a 3-pointer. that Madsen got the rebound on and might have gotten away with a travel, dribbling it out of traffic. Here's Jones left corner. Jones drives on Pratt, slips, falls down, and steps out of bounds.
And sometimes your footing just gets away from you, Jeff. Brent Jones looked like he had a nice drive there trying to get around the zone and just lost his footing. And sometimes your knees clang against the floor too, but he seems to be all right. And now looks like SHC is going to get
16-11 our score. Officials take a moment to make sure the court is cleared. Our officials today, Mike DiDiego, our lead official, Matt Amaral, Ed Page, all from the Sac Joaquin section up here in Sacramento and Stockton areas. As Pratt hands off to Otis on an exchange, Otis checking back into the ball game. Otis back out there with Parsons, Pratt, O'Reilly, and James, the original starting five for the Fightin Irish. Here's James on the penetration, takes it all the way. A nice pump fake by Parsons in the layup. Great feed by James.
That was great chemistry. It's great when you're playing point and you pass the ball and you know exactly what somebody's going to do with it. That was just a good written up play, and we can look to see that one tried a few more times.
Madsen backing in on O'Reilly, and O'Reilly gets the block shot, and then Madsen commits the foul. Going for the loose ball. That's his first, team's fourth. That was a great pass by James, who was losing his footing and found an open Parsons, an even better catch on a fastball from about 5 feet away.
Yeah,
great hands.
I was really impressed by that. I mean, sometimes point guard comes around the corner, flying out of bounds. Maybe he didn't know if he was going to have a target there, but he made sure to get the completion.
Pass into the post to O'Reilly from James is broken up by Samaniego, and it'll be Fightin Irish ball underneath the Saints basket. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 4:11 on the first half game clock. James to inbound. Gets into the post to Pratt, ball knocked away. Brent Lamar, who just checked back in, comes up with a loose ball, gives to Samaniego. Kell in the front court. Kell's got an opening. Kell takes it all the way in, off glass, no good. No foul call either. He got bumped. Rebound to O'Reilly. Pratt pushing the other way. He's got a 3-on-2. He's going to pull up from the free throw line strong. Rebound Samaniego, who hands it to Madsen, who gives it back to Samaniego. Samaniego into the front court. Backs up on the dribble, guarded by Parsons. Lamar wants the ball. He's got a mismatch with James in the block. Lamar's backing it in, forgot the basketball, and double dribble.
He was looking for the pass, and he wasn't looking to shoot. He wasn't looking to dribble. He's looking to pass and forgot what his hands are doing. That was a pretty crucial turnover.
Well, St. Augustine continues to lead 16-13 with 3:39 left in the half. As we have a timeout on the floor, we'll keep it right here again on PlayOnSports.com. But, Greg, the first maybe 4 or 5 minutes of the game seem to be played at St. Augustine pace, but you look up at the scoreboard, and this is a Sacred Heart Cathedral type game. Very low scoring, and St. Augustine looks out of sync offensively. They've already committed 10 turnovers, and we haven't even played 16 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, their 10 turnovers have been kind of bailed out by Sacred Heart Cathedral's 9 turnovers, but it's with a one-possession game, every turnover counts, and that's a really good point. I think we're going to see that a lot tonight. I think we're going to see some slow streaks where we only see 5-6 points between media or head coach timeouts, or we're going to have a quarter where I think both teams are going to be sprinting up and down the court, and you're going to be rattling off names as fast as you possibly can. It's going to be exciting.
St. Augustine shooting 30% from the field, 25% from three-point range. Meanwhile, Sacred Heart Cathedral at 32%, 14% from three-point range. 0 for 2 from the free throw line is Sacred Heart Cathedral. St. Augustine 2 of 3.
I also want to point out Lamar has added 4 points to his total at this point. He was getting in rhythm on offense. However, he's added 2 more turnovers. So he is responsible for 6 of his team's 10 turnovers at this point.
In the front court with the basketball, James swings left side, Otis. Otis on the drive with 20 on the shot clock. Pulls up, a 16-footer strong. Rebounded underneath by Trey Kell. That's his 5th board of the first half. Kell into the front court with the basketball. Swings right side, Jones. Fakes a 3, back to Kell. Kell ball fake, drives into the key, floats one over Riley. Nice move. Slid by Riley and hits the 5-foot floater. 18-13 our score. 3 minutes left in the half. O'Reilly right side to Otis. Otis straight away. Parsons. Parsons drives left. Spin move around Jones. Takes it in. Leaves it short. Madsen the rebound. Madsen outlet to Samaniego. Samaniego in the front court. Nice job in transition. The Fightin Irish are back defensively. Right side Lamar. Lamar has it stripped. Lamar is stripped by Santiago. A turnover. Here's James. No look pass to Otis. He can't find the handle. Ball loose goes to Madsen. And there again, you see the teams exchanging turnovers. Jones into the front court with the basketball. Jones driving. Jones cut off. Jones has it stolen by Otis. Another turnover. Back the other way we go. Otis has a 3-on-3. Takes it all the way. Floats one up. Strong. Rebound Kell. Outlet Samaniego. Here's the back and forth game you were talking about. Samaniego a 1-on-4. He's going to drive along the baseline. Sure, why not? He loses the ball. It's going to be off Sacred Heart out of bounds.
I'll let you take a breath, Jeff.
There you go.
I'm really interested by it. It seems like the Fightin Irish, they're really focusing on Lamar. He's not getting much time with the basketball. When he does have it, he's getting smothered by anybody or everybody. I think he's going to have trouble. He's going to have to really think about his strategy here because he now has 7 turnovers on the game.
Inbounds past Jake Ryan, who just checked back in. Almost has the ball taken away. He's going to go up. He's going to miss. Long rebound goes to Kell. He's got 7. He puts up a tough shot with 2 bodies on him and hits it.
I think Kell had the worst look at that shot in the house. I mean, he almost had to throw that over his head. But it's always amazing to see the one person who refuses to let up.
3-pointer Otis from the left wing is good. DeAndre Otis has 2 threes in the game. 20-16, a minute 43 to go in the half. Samaniego, Ryan, Tombe back in. Kell and Jones on the floor for St. Augustine. Ball swung right side. This is Jones. Jones into the post. Tombe stolen by O'Reilly. O'Reilly, James, Otis, Parsons, and Davison on the floor for Sacred Heart Cathedral. O'Reilly goes right side to Otis. Otis will back it up. 25 in the shot clock, a minute 20 on the game clock. Otis looking to make a move on Kell. Otis goes left side instead. Here's a 3-pointer, long range, long rebound. Battle for the loose ball. We got a loose ball foul on somebody. That one's going to go against Davison, his first, team's 5th.
And Sacred Heart Cathedral, if they can force another turnover, maybe even 2, and that's kind of been the tale of their defense here. Here coming in this final minute of the half, if they could get it even with 1 possession or possibly tie it,
Halftime here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. 23-16, our halftime score. St. Augustine leading it over Sacred Heart Cathedral in the boys Division III championship game here at Sleep Train Arena. Jeff Kurtz alongside Greg Cotta. Our producer today is Brian Hassler. And Greg, as we look at the stats from the first half, 23 combined turnovers between the two teams, 13 by St. Augustine, 10 by Sacred Heart Cathedral. And then the Fightin Irish hitting 27% from the field, St. Augustine 36% from the field. A function of tight defenses, but it looked like people were being a little loose with the basketball as well.
I think that was just, both teams seemed a little bit rattled, Jeff. There's a lot of energy, or, maybe it's just the excitement of even being in an NBA arena. But I think that, there's some games where I like to read the body language going into halftime. Neither team looked really happy with their play. Now, St. Augustine has a 7-point lead. 23-16 at halftime is a good situation, but there's no way that they can get comfortable. I think that the Fightin Irish are going to be really bringing it here. I mean, if they don't pick it up early in the second half, they don't want to get in a slump in the fourth quarter, kind of like they did in the later part of the second.
Well, so you look at it, you're right, body language, it didn't look like St. Augustine was walking in with momentum, and it didn't look like Sacred Heart Cathedral was walking in with any kind of momentum or like, wow, we got through something. But the game does seem to be being played at Sacred Heart Cathedral's pace and style.
Yeah, and it seems like they've got, they've got St. Augustine right where they want them. They've got possibly, they're being discredited. They're down 7. They could really chip away. Just, 7 can turn into 4, which can turn into 2. You just got to look at it one play at a time. If they can keep control and if they can cut back on their turnovers, I actually think that's going to be it for either team. It's who can get momentum and who can make sure that they cut down their turnovers before the other team does, because I don't expect both teams to come out with 13 and 10 in the second half like they did in the first.
Trey Kell leading his team in scoring, 12.7 rebounds in the first half. Brent Jones with 6 points. Brenton Lamar with 4. Drew Madsen with 1. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart Cathedral, they're led by DeAndre Otis. 2 threes in the game, 8 points total. 4 points from David Parsons. 2 each from Liam O'Reilly and Elliot Santiago. Rebounding advantage, St. Augustine's favor, 21-16. Both teams with 6 offensive rebounds each. Starting 5 for St. Augustine back out on the floor. Drew Madsen, Nate Samaniego, Brent Jones, Brent Lamar, Trey Kell. Sacred Heart Cathedral will have the basketball in the white jerseys going right to left. They will start out on the floor with David Parsons, Herman Pratt, DeAndre Otis, Liam O'Reilly, and we're Khalil James. There he is. I was looking for him. Where's their point guard? He's getting his shoes clean there on the bench. St. Augustine left to right in the purple jerseys. Sacred Heart starts out with the basketball, and James goes high post. Pratt, who's playing with 2 personal fouls. Brent Lamar and Trey Kell playing with 2 each for St. Augustine. In the corner, James on the drive around Jones. Kicks back corner, fake, drive, in. Parsons, shot, glass, no, charge. David Parsons has just picked up his first personal, team's first here in the second half.
And anytime you can force a turnover on that first possession of the half, it kind of, you can throw the thing out the window. I mean, they had the opportunity to start off, get the first shot in, and now St. Augustine can turn it around. Now, Brent Lamar is such a talented player. He had such a rough first half, but if he has a good second half, they could, and the rest of the team plays the same, they could easily walk away with a victory here.
Lamar with the ball on the right elbow, picks up the dribble, goes right side to Jones in the corner. Jones dribbles out with the left hand. Kell swings left side, Samaniego around a pick. 18 on the shot clock. Samaniego backs it out, drives on James, gets into the paint, floats one up from 5 off glass strong. Liam O'Reilly the rebound. Outlet to James. Each team has taken 2 charges in this game. It's not in our stat sheet, but something to mention. James spin move into the key, misses, gets his own rebound. Kick out Pratt for a wide open 3, no good. And Lamar goes high for the rebound and then travels. He landed on Madsen and fell down.
And I think we can really start to look at a trend here on how the referees are calling this game. They are letting the 2 teams kind of go at it down on the low blocks. There's a lot of contact, and when I heard the whistle, I assumed it was just going to be a late foul call, but it ended up being a travel.
On the inbounds pass, this is Parsons. Parsons gives off the basketball to Otis out high. Otis drives on Jones, gets into the paint, gets stuck, kicks out James left corner. James with 20 on the shot clock, looking to the post, goes inside. This is Pratt, double team, goes up and got fouled. For a second there, I thought he lost the basketball out of bounds, but that foul is going to go against Trey Kell, and that's his third.
And that is huge. Trey Kell currently sitting with 12 points and 3 fouls. He's doing the best and he's doing the worst. However, the Irish have really been struggling from the line so far. They're currently 0 for 4 as a team.
Kell is, I think, claiming as Pratt hits the first free throw, he wasn't even close to the play. I couldn't tell, as there was a lot of bodies in there. I know Madsen was in there. Lamar was in there as well, but Kell gets called for the personal. Pratt makes both free throws, and he's on the scoreboard. His first 2 points of the game, 23-18 the score. 6:44 to go in the third. Into the front court, Samaniego forgets the basketball, goes back and gets it. Lamar in the front court. Lamar driving, nice backdoor. Kell reverse layup off the feed from Lamar.
And that's exactly how it was written up. Lamar knew that Kell was going to be coming in for the layup, and it's great when you can start making the pass before you even have to look up.
O'Reilly traveled, switched his pivot feet and walked. Another turnover. St. Augustine will have the basketball. Trey Kell staying on the floor with those 3 personal fouls. Are you surprised by that, Greg?
Yeah, I'm always surprised by that. I mean, they're currently sitting with a 7-point lead, but it seems like, you know, the strategy from here on is to just extend the lead, because a 4th foul from your top scorer with so much time left could really be problematic for the team.
Samaniego looking at the post to Lamar and said straight away Jones. He'll take a 3. Good. Brent Jones has 3 of those in the game. He's gotten 1 in every quarter. Biggest lead of the game for St. Augustine is 10, 28-18.
Well, I think it's pretty clear now what Brent Jones' job is for the game. I mean, 3 3-pointers, all from different places on the court.
Parsons on the drive, leaves it short. Ball is going to be rebounded by Samaniego. Samaniego pushing into the front court. Samaniego's around 1-2. We got a blocking foul.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time before they called that one. Samaniego, clearly the fastest person on the court. And when he was coming up that right side, he was just going to put his head down and not let anybody stop him. In the moment that they tried, they didn't keep their feet set.
Khalil James picks up the personal foul, his second. Sacred Heart Cathedral with 2 team fouls in the second half. St. Augustine with 1. Samaniego goes into the corner, and now a zone defense. Lamar almost gets trapped. Back out to Samaniego, 25 on the shot clock. Back to Lamar in the corner. Lamar trapped again. He's going to be fouled by James. Is that his third? It is. Wow, so now head coach Daryl Barber's got some choices to make. He's going to leave James in the game for the moment.
And once again, we've got a trend here between the 2 teams. It seems like the coaches and the referees are letting everyone play this one.
And that is a charge. Samaniego with a push-off. Good call right there. Right in front of the official. Samaniego, his first personal foul.
Yeah.
And a gutsy play by James.
Yeah, I mean, if he had gotten that 4th one, I mean, some referees do get it wrong, but I mean, I know I'd be very rattled if I were a fan sitting in that Irish section to our left.
5:15 to go in the third. Pratt with the ball on the right wing. Pratt looking in the post. Instead, straight away, Otis. Otis around a pick by Pratt to the right, picked up by Madsen on a switch into the post. O'Reilly's got it with a right hand. No, but the follow by Pratt is good, and Pratt's got 4 points in the game.
And that's pretty big, as SHC has only scored 4 points so far in this quarter. They're going to really have to start chipping away.
Lamar puts up a 15-footer off the press break. No good. Madsen goes up high, loses the basketball. Otis comes away with it. He's got a 2-on-2. He's going to take it up around everybody. Flips up the layup. No. Gets his own rebound.
Heads up play there by Otis.
Otis trapped in the corner. Gives off to Parsons. Middle of the key. Kick out Pratt. Into the corner James. 27 on the shot clock. Skip past far side. This is Parsons. They're leaving him open for 3. Or excuse me, that's Otis. Otis is going to back it out and reset. Probably a smart move. Goes corner Pratt. He'll take that 3. Shot good. Pratt's heating up. He's got 7 in the game and all in this first 4 minutes.
Yeah, Pratt has really turned it around. He's struggled a lot. He was 0 for 3 from the court in the first half.
Brent Lamar hits an 18-footer off the press break. He's got 6, 30-23. We're at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. James in the front court with the ball. James, high left elbow. Parsons guarded by Jones. Parsons looking for O'Reilly. Hits him right elbow. Now right wing James. 18 on the shot clock. James straight away. Pratt, he's feeling it. He shoots another 3. That shot bounces around the rim and drops.
Oh, feeling it is the perfect way to describe it. And now his fans are starting to feel it. I think the new play written up is going to be get Pratt the ball no matter what. He is bringing SHG back into this one.
4-point game. Here's Kell on the penetration. Floats one up off the glass while falling down sideways.
Boy, what a more exciting game we're having here in the second half compared to the first.
Teams are starting to find their shot. 32-26 is the score. 3:15 left in the third. High right elbow. This is Parsons again. Goes to O'Reilly on the right elbow. O'Reilly looking for Pratt. Instead, right side James. Pratt hounded by Jones. James is going to drive, kick out Pratt. Jones is on him. Pratt's going to drive, give to James. He'll take a three. Air ball, rebound Kell. Kell outlet Lamar. Lamar to Jones along the left wing. Jones is going to pull up for three. He's feeling it. Side of the rim, no good. Otis the rebound. Otis is going the other way with it. Otis breaks through two, hands to James. Layup short. Rebound James. Out Pratt. Pratt's going to fake a pass, shoot a three. Back iron, no. Kell another rebound. And now St. Augustine's going to slow it down. 2:35 left in the third.
And that's going to be interesting to see, Jeff. I think that they were really getting benefits from all of the back and forth play, but now they're going to have the opportunity to write something up.
17 on the shot clock. Lamar with the ball on the left wing. Now 15. Straight away Jones. Jones dribbles right side to Samaniego with 12. 2:15 on the third quarter clock. Samaniego on the drive, puts one up over O'Reilly short. Battle for the rebound underneath. It's going to go to Sacred Heart. Outlet 2-on-1. Otis and O'Reilly. Give to O'Reilly. Layup good.
That's a great transition bucket. I'm really sensing a good momentum here coming from the Irish, and Otis there to look at the basket until the very last second when you make the pass just to hold the defender on you long enough.
32-28, 4-point game, 20 on the shot clock. Samaniego in the corner, 1:45 to go in the third. Gives to Lamar along the left wing. Lamar wants a clear out on Pratt. Instead, skip pass, far side Jones. Jones drives, takes it in, tries to pass, probably should have shot, and it's going to be off St. Augustine.
And he had the clear look at the basket.
Yeah, he should have taken that. He tried to feed it to Madsen, who was clearly covered. With 1:36 to go in the third quarter, timeout on the floor, a 4-point game right here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Now here on PlayOnSports.com, you can stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. We will select our player of the game, and we'll have some final stats to discuss here in this championship final. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Well, in the third quarter, it's been the Herman Pratt show. He's got 2 threes. He's been to the free throw line, made both. He's got 10 points in the quarter. Those are all of his points for the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is his show right now. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Just get him the ball, see what he can do. And I think those 2 free throws, free throws aren't normally what determine the momentum for a game, but once those sank, it seemed like SHG was able to turn around. They've got it back within 4. I think that 4-point deficit, that's something that anybody can chip away at.
Meanwhile, Pratt, now with 10 points in the game, 3 of 7 from the field. He was 0 for 2 in the first half, now 3 of 5 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's typically the team. He was getting a lot of time ball handling out on the court. He seemed like the one calling the shots, but his shots weren't falling. So I think it's interesting, he got some pep talk from his coach inside the locker room, and it looks like he's come out here really to play in the second half to make up for any mistakes in the first.
Evan Davison in the ball game for Sacred Heart. He's on the floor with Otis, Pratt, O'Reilly, and now Elliot Santiago back in for the Fightin Irish. Meanwhile, Lamar, Kell still in the game, and Martin Tombe is back in, Jake Ryan, and also Eric Monroe for St. Augustine. High left elbow. That was a pass to O'Reilly from Davison. O'Reilly gives off to Otis, now sets a pick for Otis. Otis dribbles right, pulls up, 17-footer partially blocked by Lamar. Loose ball on the floor. Who's going to get it? Santiago's going to get it, and goes right side Otis. 12 on the shot clock, though. Shot clock did not reset. The ball didn't hit the rim. Otis left side. Santiago with 6. With 5, he's going to pull up for 3. That shot way off. The loose ball goes to O'Reilly as Kell couldn't grab the rebound.
Yeah, Kell had a good look at it. I don't think he expected a three-point shot to hit him in the chest because it was such a poor shot. But it bounced right off of him, and then O'Reilly was able to get the putback.
Monroe with the ball on the left wing. St. Augustine, in a rare moment here, is getting out-rebounded by 2. Left side, Monroe. He's going to put up a 3-ball. Good. Eric Monroe, the freshman, drills a 3, and it's 35-30 St. Augustine with 33 seconds left in the quarter. Here's the drive. Otis leaves it short. Rebounded underneath. We got a foul as Otis is going to be going to the free throw line.
And that is going to be a pretty big foul there. I mean, it's going to keep the Irish in this one because that three on the other end.
Big three by Monroe.
Huge. I mean, Augustine was able to get it back to a two-possession game, making the score 35-30. And now the Irish can get right back in this one.
Well, Otis misses the first free throw. That foul was on Martin Tombe, his first, team's third. So each team with 3 team fouls. 30.5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Shot clock is turned off. Otis' second free throw, also short. Rebound Tombe. Tombe gets it to Kell. Kell to Monroe. Monroe and Tombe, both freshmen, getting significant minutes for St. Augustine throughout the course of the year. Monroe hit a big three a moment ago. Monroe with the basketball, guarded by Santiago. Monroe goes right side Lamar. 16 seconds left in the quarter. Back to Monroe near the center circle. Picked up by Santiago with 11. Right side Ryan into the post Lamar. Lamar up on Pratt. Pratt swats the shot. Monroe gets the long rebound. Goes to Tombe. His 10-footer no good. Ryan, the tap back is in. And that will end the quarter. That shot will not count. A big play by Jake Ryan, his first points of the game, and he extends the St. Augustine lead 37-30. It's exactly where it was at the half, Greg.
You know, and that is because they got their momentum in those closing minutes. I do want to give credit. Pratt's block there was vicious. I thought that was going to end any momentum. I thought that the Fightin Irish could move it the other way. But then the putback, I think St. Augustine has that confidence where it seems like the harder SHC pushes them, the harder they push back. They're competitive. They know how to win. And, you know, they haven't been in this championship in quite a while, and they didn't get to win it last time. If they keep this up for this fourth quarter, they're going to be walking to a victory.
Herman Pratt, though, 10 points in the quarter to carry Sacred Heart Cathedral, but big contributions by bench players for St. Augustine, what with Ryan and Monroe, the Monroe three, and then the Ryan tap in at the buzzer. Rebounding advantage, St. Augustine's right now 26-25, but 12 offensive boards for Sacred Heart Cathedral has given them multiple second chance opportunities.
And that's huge. You know, I mentioned it earlier, except we were talking about St. Augustine. You know, it's so big when you can get second chance opportunities. There's some games, you know, neither team shooting extremely well. Both of them have stepped it up a bit, actually. St. Augustine now shooting 38%. They did have a very good quarter there at the end, but honestly, it's when your shooting percentage doesn't matter if you get second and sometimes third chances.
Ryan, Monroe, Kell, Lamar, Tombe stay in the lineup for St. Augustine as we begin the fourth quarter. Santiago, Davison, Otis, Pratt, as we've now got a foul. Pratt just picked up his fourth, and O'Reilly on the floor for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Excuse me, his third. I apologize. Third personal on Pratt, team's fourth.
Even with 3 fouls, he's going to have to be careful. I want to point out his 10 points in the third quarter. SHC as a team scored 9 in the first quarter and 7 in the second. He is playing phenomenally.
Monroe with the ball goes right side Ryan. Ryan into the post to Kell. Kell sees a double team. Nice feed. Monroe's got it left side. Monroe with 24 on the shot clock, looking to drive. Takes it into the key. Pull up 16-footer. No good. Battle for the loose ball. Rebound Lamar.
And now St. Augustine is going to slow it down. These final 3 minutes here, they do not want to give up the turnovers as they just were. They're going to try to be a bit more patient on offense, make sure they get the good passes in.
San Diego looking for help. Goes right side Lamar. Lamar's going to drive. Nice feed to Madsen. He's going to be fouled by Pratt. Pratt got some of the ball, but also got the arm. And for Herman Pratt, that's his fourth personal. Drew Madsen to the free throw line.
Yeah, Herman Pratt was good to make sure to well distribute his 4 fouls so far, so it isn't too much of a problem.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Greg Cotta. Trey Kell has had an outstanding game. 19 points, 9 rebounds. He's been doing a phenomenal job. A couple block shots for St. Augustine. 33-27. The rebounding advantage is still going Saints' way. Does Sacred Heart have another push? They're still within striking distance. It's only a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it now, though. I mean, 2.5 minutes is a lot easier. I mean, not like the difference, between 2.5 minutes and 1.5 minutes when you're down 2 possessions is huge. Now, St. Augustine has an advantage. They're already got the bonus going in their favor. I think it's going to be close, but yeah, of course they have a good shot here. I mean, 2 possessions is much closer. They're going to want to hit their shots, though, and it looks like a tough pressing defense is going to be showing up here, though. courtesy of St. Augustine.
Sacred Heart, after the Nate Samaniego foul, will take it out underneath the Saints basket, defensive end. Sacred Heart's team up by 6, looking to go up by 8 on this possession. Samaniego with the ball near the timeline. Offensive end, under 20 on the shot clock. 2:05 to go in the game. Samaniego goes corner to Kell. Kell is going to drive, and we got to travel.
And he just picked up his dribble for just a second, but it ended up costing him that extra step. And with 2 minutes here, that turnover does give SHC another good shot here.
2 minutes to play. James into the front court. 42-36. High right elbow, Parsons. Parsons looking for O'Reilly. Gives it to him left elbow. Left side, James. Into the post. Parsons on the block. Spin move. Goes up. Misses the layup. Madsen the rebound. Madsen looking for help. Finally gets it out to Samaniego. Samaniego across the timeline with 1:40 to go. He's immediately trapped. Gives to Lamar. He's trapped. He gives to Madsen. It's going to be over and back. Another turnover.
And that's huge. Now, SHG, they've got to be clever here. They have to be effective with their shot choice because they're going to get a good look here. It needs to drop. I think this is going to be a big opportunity for them. But if it does go in, this is a ball game.
James with the basketball. Parsons had a good ball handler in the game. Madsen out. Monroe in for St. Augustine. Lamar's going to bring it into the front court. Lamar's going to drive. He has the ball poked away. We've got the ball loose, and then Monroe stepped on the sideline.
And that was huge. Normally a lot of criticism goes to a player when they step out of bounds there, but really that was just tough defense coming from the Fightin Irish to force him in a position where he couldn't really work with much.
Under a minute to play. James in the front court. High right elbow, Davison. Davison, high left elbow, O'Reilly. O'Reilly looking for Otis on a cut. Now gives to James right side. 20 on the shot clock. James into the key. Back out to O'Reilly. To Otis around the three-point line. Picked up by Lamar. Otis on the drive. Takes it in all the way. Layup good. And timeout, Sacred Heart Cathedral. 2-point game with 37.5 seconds left.
Oh, my goodness, Jeff. The Fightin Irish are fighting. And it's interesting to see is that we saw so much success come from Herman Pratt. And it seems like he stepped it back a bit. He hasn't scored any points really for a handful of minutes. I'd say about 6 or 7 by my judgment.
But Otis has picked up the slack.
Exactly. The rest of the team has. I think we're seeing good work from Liam O'Reilly as well. He's currently got 8 points. The rest of the team is stepping it up because the moment that St. Augustine focused on their one target, Herman Pratt, the rest of the team stepped up, and a 2-point game with 37 seconds left. At 3 minutes, I don't know if I would have believed you if you told me this is what was going to happen. But.
Well, St. Augustine hasn't been able to get off a shot in their last 2 possessions. The key is if you're Sacred Heart Cathedral, do you foul here right away or do you play defense and see if you can shut them down? If you let the shot clock go all the way down, there's 2.5 seconds remaining. It'll be interesting to see how they play it. Lamar is going to inbound the basketball. Samaniego, Kell, Jones, and Monroe on the floor for St. Augustine.
I might foul right away here, Jeff, because
3 here necessarily. They can get the 2.
Yeah, a 4-point game, about 27 seconds left, 26.8 to be exact. Some of these close games, those 0.2 seconds actually really matter.
James into the front court with the basketball. He's pushing. James looking left. Hits Pratt. Pratt drives, kicks corner. Davison, 3-ball, good! 1-point game, and the final timeout is called by Sacred Heart Cathedral with 16.8 seconds remaining. Parsons, his first 3 of the game and his first points of the second half.
That was unbelievable. That was not the best look on the court. It was a rushed 3-pointer. He had hands in his face. He was falling away from the hoop. But sometimes the magic just works. And a 1-point game now. A 3 was not what they were probably even looking for. But he wasn't open in the corner. They passed it. That was kind of a prayer, but here we are, and they've got the extra timeout to set up on defense.
Well, and that's their last timeout as well. St. Augustine still has 3 they can use. You got to think Sacred Heart Cathedral is going to press, but with 16.8 seconds remaining, Greg, do you try to trap them in the backcourt, or do you foul right away once the ball gets inbound?
I think you foul right away because last time they had too much success on their full-court press break. They were able to get it up into the front court, move it around a few times, and ended up burning about 10 seconds right now. And that's not something that SHC can handle, as they are going to have to bring the ball all the way up the court without a timeout.
Monroe back in the ball game will replace Madsen, the extra ball handler and the better free throw shooting.
But then again, I mean, if the Fightin Irish can put in a 3 like they did last time, they wouldn't mind giving up free throws here, too. I mean, what a pretty shot coming from the corner.
Lamar can use a timeout if he gets in trouble, and he's going to do so. Nice defense by Sacred Heart Cathedral. St. Augustine still with 2 timeouts remaining. They actually put some time back on the clock, so it's 17.4 seconds remaining. Who, if you're a St. Augustine fan sitting at home, you're going, how come time is going the opposite direction from what we would like? Sacred Heart Cathedral has said, hey, can you throw in a few more tenths of a second? We'll use all that we can get. 44-43 is our score. St. Augustine by 1. They have 2 timeouts left. 7 team fouls committed by Sacred Heart Cathedral. So it's still a 1-1 situation for St. Augustine if they are fouled. Boy, this is primed for whoever has the ball last is going to win this game, isn't it, Greg?
It's what it's looking like. And, luckily St. Augustine had 3 timeouts. They were able to burn one just by looking at what the Irish's plan was on this full court press, something that the Irish haven't done really so far this game. Lamar
looking for the inbound. You got to get it into somebody. Lamar's going to call timeout again. No, a 5-second violation.
Unbelievable.
Another turnover. He didn't call it soon enough.
And I mean, that was just a mental mistake there. And now the Irish don't need to bring the ball up the court. They're going to be inbounding from under their own hoop.
1-point ball game. James to inbound. James bringing it in underneath his basket. He's out of timeouts. Gives to O'Reilly. Oh, yeah. Because otherwise St. Augustine can win it with a 2. Madsen is in the ball game with Samaniego, Kell, Lamar, and Jones. On the other side, Parsons going to the free throw line. O'Reilly, Otis, James, and Pratt. What a turnaround this would be from a 7-point deficit going into the fourth quarter if Sacred Heart Cathedral can hold on here, now up by 1. Officials just wanting to make sure that Parsons is the right guy at the free throw line. Nobody's been shooting well from the foul line today for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Parsons is the guy.
This has got to be some of the toughest thing that a high school player has got to do.
Free throw good.
Big
the second one will get a little
throw.
bit easier now. Parsons, 4 points in the fourth. He's got one more. 2-point game.
Whether he makes it or misses it, the Irish cannot relax here.
He makes them both. St. Augustine to inbound, it's Lamar. Gets it into Samaniego. They need a 3. 8 seconds remaining. Samaniego front court. He is going to be tripped. No call. Ball loose. It's off Sacred Heart Cathedral in the corner with 4.6 seconds remaining.
That's plenty of time for a three-pointer. Now, hopefully they'll.
St. Augustine still has that timeout they can use if necessary.
I expected them to use it once they crossed half court, but then they lost possession right after.
Let's see where they're going to inbound the basketball. It should be. It's going to be along the sideline, far corner. The inbounds pass to Kell. The three-pointer, he's going to be fouled. That's a good call. Fouled with 2.9 seconds left. He's got 3 free throws.
We talked about the crowd being quiet in the first half. I couldn't hear the whistle this time in the second half as both cheering sections have turned it on. 3 free throws with 2.9 seconds left.
That's not a bad foul by O'Reilly, as Kell is 3 of 5 from the line and 3 free throws to tie. First one is good.
Cold as ice.
47-45, 2.9 seconds left. Sacred Heart out of timeouts. Kell's second free throw, also good.
It's coming down to this.
Biggest free throw of this young man's life coming up. Ryan will replace Jones in the lineup for St. Augustine. Kell's got one more, trailing by 1. Nothing but the bottom of the twine. Inbounds pass, James with 2, with 1 from midcourt at the buzzer. It's short, and we've got overtime.
Of course we've got overtime, Jeff. I mean,
Trey Kell. Oh, my goodness. Someone check that kid for a pulse.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the composure to get his 24th point of the game at the free throw line to keep his team in it. I mean, I do agree it wasn't the worst foul by O'Reilly, but because, you know, he fouled somebody who's been struggling from the line, a team that's been struggling from the line. But then he comes in cold as ice, just nails all three, and he had the composure on his face. He knew he could sink him. He told his guys that he's got it. And now we've got 4 minutes on the clock. Game 4 tied at 47. Nothing but exciting basketball here, just as we predicted, Jeff.
Each team will keep the team foul situation. Sacred Heart Cathedral has 8, St. Augustine with 7. Each team will get a timeout, so St. Augustine now with 2, and Sacred Heart Cathedral with 1. Foul situation. Herman Pratt actually doesn't have 4 personals. He has 3, as does Khalil James. Otis, Parsons, and O'Reilly all with 2. So they moved a foul from Pratt to O'Reilly. Meanwhile, Trey Kell playing with those 4 personals. Lamar, Samaniego, and Madsen with 2 each. Center circle jump again. It's like we're starting all over, except we're playing 4 minutes for a winner. Lamar, Samaniego, Jones, Kell, Madsen in the center circle. O'Reilly is going to be jumping against him. Pratt, Otis, James, and Parsons. We're up. The tap going to be won by St. Augustine, and it goes to Lamar. Samaniego with the ball in the front court, guarded by Otis. Trying to get this offense started. Right corner, Lamar. Lamar driving on Pratt, takes it into the key, gives to Madsen for the easy layup. Nice feed. Into the front court, James to O'Reilly straight away. 2-point game. Left side, Otis with 3:35 to play. Now Pratt, top of the circle, right side, James. 22 on the shot clock. James going to drive on Samaniego, takes in the key, kick out Pratt. 3-pointer on the way, short. Rebounded underneath by Madsen. You're not going to take the ball from him when he gets it down low.
You know, it's interesting to see Herman Pratt here has been a bit more silent since he got his team back into the game, but I think that he still has the ability to turn it on here in the final minutes.
Lamar's going to back it out. 15 on the shot clock, 3:06 to go. 49-47 Saints. Left corner, Kell, big 3 ball, good! Trey Kell!
Trey Kell has got to be having the game of his life right now. I mean, what he's done here in the final minutes, SHG has got to do something. Face guard him. Don't give him a good look.
James going to drive baseline. His layup is in. Nice move by Khalil James. 3-point game, 52-49, 2:40 to go. Kell wants a clear out on Parsons. Kell needs to get across the half-court line. He does with 2 seconds to spare. Gives to Samaniego with 24 on the shot clock, 2:30 to go in the first overtime. Samaniego will back it up. Go left side. This is Lamar. Round to pick by Madsen. Into the key. Kick right side. Corner. Jones. 3-pointer strong. Battle for the rebound. Going to go to Parsons. Parsons outlet James. James with a 3-on-2. Right side Otis. Otis going to drive into the key. Now he's going to back it out and set things up. No, he's going to give to Pratt for a 3. Good!
There he is. I mean, it was only a matter of time. You know, now he's got 17 on the game.
52 all. Under 2 minutes to play.
This is a game of runs, Jeff, and I think it's just going to be whoever gets the last run in.
Lamar with the ball in the front court, 24 on the shot clock. Around Pratt. Into the corner, Samaniego. Samaniego looking for help, gives to Kell right side. Kell looking at the post. Nobody's in the post. Kell's going to drive on Otis, take it all the way in. Float went up. He's going to be fouled. Kell going to the line for 2. I'm running out of room on my stat sheet for Trey Kell. That foul is going to go against DeAndre Otis. And that's his 3rd personal, team's 9th. So 2 shots rest of the way for St. Augustine. 1:39 to play.
You know, Jeff, I'm really impressed by how the rest of the Fightin Irish have stepped it up. Getting behind Herman Pratt, where, I mean, we look up, we've got 10 points for O'Reilly. We've got 12 points for DeAndre Otis. And I mean, it's like, seemed like all the players have really come up to keep themselves in this one.
Kell hit the first one. He also hits the second one. What a last couple minutes Trey Kell has had. 54-52. He's got 29 points in the game. Into the front court, James. 1:32 to go. Left side knocked out of bounds by Jones. It will stay Sacred Heart Cathedral ball and a pass to Pratt. 26 on the shot clock, 1:30 on the game clock. First overtime. Parsons to inbound. Parsons to James. James with Samaniego backing off him a little bit. James will set up the offense. James dribbles right-hand side, looking into the post of Pratt. Now around a pick from Parsons. Now looking for Parsons, gives him to him. Parsons on the wing with 9. Parsons has the ball tapped away. Yes, steal by Kell. Gives to Samaniego. Samaniego is going to give to Lamar in the backcourt. Lamar's got to push a little bit. He's across half court. He gives back to Samaniego under a minute to go. 23 on the shot clock. 2-point advantage for St. Augustine. Lamar's going to put it around Pratt. Take it into the key. Put one up from 15. He's fouled. That foul on Pratt, that should be his 4th. It is.
Yeah, it's definitely his 4th. As for a second, I was thinking it might have been his 5th, but it was a good foul there. Trailing by 2. I mean, it's really putting it into the midst.
Well, Brenton Lamar at the line for 2. This is his first free throw attempts of the day, and he makes his first one.
You said earlier, Jeff, that free throws down the stretch are so important. And I don't know if I've ever seen them as important as they are right now.
Timeout called by St. Augustine. They've got one left. They've got a 3-point lead with 50.4 seconds remaining. Greg, let's keep it right here on PlayOnSports.com. So for Sacred Heart Cathedral, they've got one timeout remaining. You look to this, Kell and Lamar over the last few minutes here. St. Augustine's been to the line 6 times. They've made 6 free throws. Kell's 3 nail-biters that he had to make all 3 of to force overtime. And then he's had 2 in the overtime period. Lamar's got 1. He's got 1 more. Sacred Heart Cathedral, what do they need to do offensively on this next set? Look for Pratt?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good look, but I think that, it was also, good to look for O'Reilly. I mean, he's had 4 big points down the stretch himself, and I think that they're at the point where they can just trust their open shooters. So I think they're going to write up a play that has 2, maybe 3 looks, and take their time on it. But, they're really going to want to be just, crossing their fingers, doing their hexes, whatever they can to hope that this second free throw doesn't fall, because 50 seconds in a 1-possession is much easier than 50 seconds in a 2-possession game. I do want to see here, though, I think that Brent Lamar has had a game of ups and downs, but honestly, these clutch free throws down the stretch, I'm sure he could be feeling a bit nervous, but it's going to be so easy for a team to get behind Trey Kell after what he did to bring him to this overtime.
Brenton Lamar heading to UC Davis next year. His coach next season, Jim Less, in attendance. And he hits the second free throw.
And that's something any coach likes to see, free throws hit in overtime.
4-point lead. Into the front court, O'Reilly. O'Reilly with 45 seconds to play gives to Otis. Otis, right side. James into the key. James looking out for a 3. Otis, long range, front iron, no. Battle for the rebound, James. Kick out to Otis, stolen by Lamar. Lamar is fouled. No, jump ball call. Jump ball call, and the possession favors the Fightin Irish. They've got some life left with 31.1 seconds remaining.
Lamar did everything right. I mean, that's going to be a controversial call no matter what. I think that the referees did get a good call on that one. But
and now we've got a whistle, and there's a foul before the inbounds pass. A foul is going to be against Madsen with a hold. And a 1-and-1 situation for O'Reilly.
And these free throws are huge. I mean, these are calls that referees don't enjoy making, but they've been right ones. I just think that the Irish seem to thrive when there's, what looks to be an impossible amount of time on the clock.
We're in a tough situation. Now we're just getting started.
Right. I think they like the drama. That's the only way I can put it.
That foul against Madsen is his 3rd. One-on-one situation. O'Reilly at the line. The front end is going to fall off the rim. The rebound to Kell. And Kell will be fouled.
And it's going to be interesting to see who that foul is called on.
That foul is going to go against James, his 4th.
Going into that play, Herman Pratt had those 4 fouls, and I know they're going to be looking for him for a shot here at the end, but that missed free throw there coming from O'Reilly was really big for Augustine. 4-point lead, 30 seconds to go here, I think, and they've got exactly who they want to have at the line in this situation.
Well, it's going to be a 2-possession game regardless of what Kell does here, whether he misses both or makes both, and the first one's going to rim out.
He chose the right one to miss.
29.3 seconds remaining, each team with a timeout left. We've got a timeout on the floor. Coach Hopt is arguing for a jump ball call in that corner, and the possession arrow should be favoring his team after that last jump, I guess is what he's talking about. But Kell hits the second free throw. 57-52, 28 seconds left. Into the front court, James. James straight away to O'Reilly, right side to Otis. Otis with time running down, 20 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. Here's James, long three-pointer, in and out, no. The rebound to Kell. We got a whistle and a loose ball foul is going to go against St. Augustine.
Unbelievable.
That foul on Madsen, a hold. And that's his third, and another 1-and-1 for O'Reilly.
And I'm getting I think it's deja vu, but no, this actually happening twice here.
Wow.
I think that's a very ambitious call by the referee, but I mean, you know, it's an important time for a referee, too. They want to make sure that they get everything called.
O'Reilly misses the free throw. Ball loose on the floor. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be off Sacred Heart. 11 seconds left.
And barring a miracle here with 11 seconds left and 2-possession lead, a good inbound here could really secure a win.
57-52. Jones to inbound. Gets it into Kell. Kell goes into the backcourt. Samaniego. Nobody's getting fouled here. And there's the foul. Lamar's going to go to the line. 6.4 seconds left. And Lamar can ice it here if he makes these two. I mean, it's a tall order for Sacred Heart Cathedral in a 2-possession game already, but a 3-possession game makes it pretty much impossible.
Yeah, I mean, Sacred Heart Cathedral, I think, you know, I'm impressed. I like seeing them coming out and fouling and making sure that their opponents have to earn it from the line. I mean, if you're going to win a championship, you got to do it like this.
Lamar hits the first one.
I mean, I've really been impressed by how Sacred Heart has been able to stay in this one until the end. I think that the free throws are going to make it look like a bigger win than it actually was. This came down to the wire.
Sacred Heart now down by 7 as Lamar hits both. 5 seconds to play. James, a three-pointer in the front court, short. The follow, no good. The ball game is over, and St. Augustine in overtime wins it 59-52. In a game that was a grinder for both of these teams.
Oh, both teams put it all out on the court. There's got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser. It's really tough here. I mean, you know, credit due to Sacred Heart, but the celebration to St. Augustine here, they deserved it. I mean, they came through in the end. Those 3 free throws at the end of that game by Trey Kell, I'm never going to forget that. I mean, you have the look for the 3. That's exactly what you want when you're down 3. Get fouled and to earn it at the line, then pull away, win by 7 in overtime. I mean, this was such an impressive showing coming from the St. Augustine Saints.
PlayOnSports.com post-game show coming up in just a few moments. 59-52, St. Augustine winning it over Sacred Heart Cathedral. Stay tuned for the post-game in just a few moments, folks. You're following the action on your destination for high school sports. PlayOnSports.com. Back here on the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, Jeff Kurtz alongside Greg Cotta, and St. Augustine outlasts Sacred Heart Cathedral 59-52. Greg, it was not pretty. It was not the prettiest game for each team. It certainly wasn't a pretty game for St. Augustine High School, who has played a lot of fantastic games, very fluid, but it was enough for the win, and good, bad, or ugly, you don't care if you're going to win the championship, and that's exactly what the Saints did today.
Well, I mean, all the ugliest basketball, Jeff, happened in the first half for both teams, and then both teams came out of the gates in the second half knowing that it was wide open, that they had to play well to overcome their mistakes in the first half. And you know, St. Augustine, they got the better up. They got the better end of the deal. I mean, they really worked hard. They cleaned up their game. They hit their shots when they needed to. And really, the game came down to free throws.
Yeah, they were struggling at the free throw line, where the St. Augustine